Facing rejections can be a really terrible thing. I mean, at one point, you're excited about getting this new opportunity and this new excitement of starting something new. Especially after you've sent in your application and you feel so confident, like, I'm going to get this. And then you're contacted, like, oh, we've received the application and we've decided to move forward with you, we want to have you in an interview. And then you proceed to pass the first interview. You go into the second interview and you still do well. You will be going to the third one, and then finally they tell you that we decided to move forward with another applicant or another person over you, and all those kind of stuff. Or maybe it's the application where you just applied, and a few minutes later, a few hours later, they send you a mail like, unfortunately, we are not moving forward with you. Or maybe it's the one that you went through the first stage and then you couldn't make it, or you made it through the first stage and they still dropped you. In all these cases, there's one similar thing. There's this discouragement that comes with rejection. You start getting different emotions. You start feeling like you're not worth it. You start feeling like you don't know enough. You start feeling like there are many other people better than you, and you're supposed to start trying to meet up to a certain standard. In all these things, realize one single thing. Everyone in tech, everyone you see today as being successful in this career had several moments like this in their career. There was no one who just started and immediately had a breakthrough, right? If there are, maybe it's very rare, but the most developers I know, the most people in tech I know, face similar challenges like this. In fact, rejections isn't even peculiar to tech. In every other career you find yourself in, you probably have rejections. So here are a few things you should do after receiving these rejections. Number one, the recruiter isn't your enemy. The person who tried recruiting you for the job is not your enemy. In fact, in many cases, these recruiters want you to get the job because it also helps them in their career by bringing good people to the table. So when you're rejected from a company, do not automatically remove them from your LinkedIn or stop or just disconnect immediately and not wanting to have anything to do with them anymore, right? These recruiters are, obligated to sometimes deliver the bad news to you, and it's really not a fun job to deliver bad news to people, right? So you're making it harder for them if you keep making them feel guilty about it. Many times, it's not even in their place to make that consideration of whether you should join them or not. They could basically put in good word for you and all of that if you do well in that stage of the interview. But ultimately, it sometimes lies with a higher level of decision makers to make that possible. So try your best not to, I know it's really tough, but try your best not to pour your pain and all your anger on them, like, I thought I did well in the interview. Oh, we were reporting, like we were really talking, we were into this thing together, and now I'm here. Try to, look beyond that phase and then move ahead to ask some few questions. So now you've been rejected from the company. Try to ask, maybe send a follow-up mail if a clear description of why you were rejected isn't given. You could send a follow-up mail like, hi, thank you for responding to me on this position. I was excited to be getting into here, but I'm not. And it's a great opportunity to have applied for this. However, are there some few things you guys could point out on why I couldn't make it, why someone else was chosen over me? In many situations, you would see that these people would reach back to you sometimes and be like, hey, here were the assessments we had to consider, and here were what we found out that you could have an improvement on. In those kind of cases, it's best to just take it, improve on that, and move forward. In some other cases, you see that it isn't really your skill set. It was just an option of we had 4 great candidates or we had 2 great candidates, and we decided to go with another person. Sometimes it could even be the location of where the person is. Maybe it is a remote job and the person stayed in the same city with where the office building is located, and then they just decided to take the person over you and different things like that. So when you send a follow-up mail many times, what that does for me personally is it gives me reassurance. In many of the instances I've received, even maybe recently and in the past, I received positive, rejection messages oh, you guys were, it was remaining two people, maybe you and someone else, and we decided to go with that person over you. Oh, you don't need to change anything in what you're doing already. You're a great candidate, and it just happened that we had to take one person and we couldn't move forward with you. Or oh, your location and all of those kind of things. But at the end of the day, you have a more clearer reason on why you were rejected, and you're able to improve on those things. It is an application where they just send you, a straight rejection after a few minutes. Sometimes they didn't check out your application or something, and there's a more painful one, the one where you're waiting for weeks for a reply and you don't get any reply, and the company just goes you like that. Hey, if you wait for like 2 weeks, you wait for like 1 month, you should probably stop waiting and start applying for other things. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, like, oh, I must really work at this place, I must really work at this place. You will see that if you pay attention to fixing these details, you find something greater for yourself. I've noticed that when I see job requirements that I don't quite fit, and I know that this is the kind of position I want to work in, I would basically take out the things that I know that I fit into in that job requirement, and take out the things I know I don't quite know yet in the job requirements, and start to work on those areas, so that in the long run I would be able to fit into that position and be able to apply. So lessons should be learned from rejections rather than feeling like a failure. Pick yourself up and keep working. Everyone experiences this in tech, everyone experiences this in their career. These phases are real. These phases are phases where you would want to start doubting your skill set. You want to start doubting, oh, I've applied to 10 positions and I've not gotten anyone. I know someone who applied to 100 positions before he was able to find an offer, and then there are many people like that. And the thing I've seen about people is you're comparing your day one to somebody's day 1000, or somebody's day 100, or somebody's day 500. You're looking at somebody's status, and you're feeling like, we are age mates. Come on, your age mates doesn't mean you're on the same journey, or doesn't mean you started your career at the same time, right? Your age mate in age, and probably not in years of experience or things that they've done, extra miles that they went that you didn't go, and all those kind of things. Or basically you're just on different journeys. You would notice that if you give yourself time, if you continue working hard, if you realize that, hey, I'm not in so much of a hurry, and hey, I'm doing great, like you should basically just explore that things. It could be that you join a team where you're not getting paid so much. Maybe it's just an open source project you're building out with people, and then you realize how good you are and how good you're performing on the team. That way it kind of encourages you and help you understand that, hey, I'm actually doing well. Any company that I tell myself that any company that takes me in to work for them has taken in an asset, because I know that I could really work hard to deliver on my tasks, right? I've trained myself to believe in myself. I know that I could improve, I know that I could do more, I know that I could learn more, even the things I don't yet know, and I believe I'm an asset to any team I join. Positive mindset, rather than speaking negatively into your life, speaking negatively into your mind, which corrupts your system. You should endeavor to speak positively while also learning and building yourself. So please don't hate recruiters. Please don't feel like the company hates you. Don't feel like you're the most hated, if there's a word like that, in the world. Just try to pick yourself up through these situations and apply to other things, move forward with other projects, and maybe even explore other ways of making money in tech, right? Because I've seen that most of the issue comes with frustration of not making any money at all from tech. You will start writing. If you check out my other video on 3 ways to make money in tech, without a proper tech job, you would see 3 ways I mentioned there, which I've tried out 2 of them, and I was able to make substantial money from them. So that way there's not much pressure to get an immediate job, because you know other things that you could be doing in tech and still make money. The pressure usually comes from, I need urgent cash. I need cash badly, right? And I've been learning this skill for 2 years now, for 2.5 years, and I've not been able to find something solid. You would find it soon. You just need to continue putting yourself out there, continue building stuff, continue putting those things out, and who knows, you might get reached out to one day. Sometimes it's just a sprinkle bit of luck that you need. But when that luck finds you, would you be prepared to match that luck? If they want to take you for a position, are you prepared to match that luck in terms of they have things you built, they have things you could show them that they'll be like, hey, we saw your profile and we think you're a best fit for this kind of thing, right? Hey, we saw this thing you built and we feel like you're a best fit for this kind of thing. So instead of wallowing yourself in the rejection, wallowing yourself in I'm not good enough, change your mindset, switch it up, switch it up, switch it up. Get excited about it, get excited about the journey ahead, because the journey ahead is really amazing and you've only just begun. You have a long way to go, a long career to go, a long way to make money to go, and this simple experience of having 1 rejection, 2 rejections, 10 rejections, 20 rejections doesn't ruin the amazing future ahead of you. Hi, I'm Daniel Don and I run this channel. If you're new here, please like this video if you like the video and subscribe to my channel. You'll also see links to my Twitter, Instagram and WhatsApp. So if you want to message me or drop a comment here telling me your experience or how much you like the video or how much you like me. Bye.